A few years ago, a dozen eggs cost you about $2. Then inflation hit, and the price doubled. Then the news said inflation was over. But check your receipt. The price never came back down. And here's the uncomfortable truth. It never will. And that's not an accident. That's the design. When you hear inflation dropped from 9% to 3%, your brain hears prices are falling. But that's not what it means. Inflation is a speed, not a direction. 9% means prices are climbing fast. 3% means they're still climbing, just slower. For prices to actually come down, you'd need deflation, a negative number. And that almost never happens. In fact, the world's central banks openly target 2% inflation forever. Think about that for a second. The system isn't failing to bring prices down. It is deliberately engineered so that the price of everything drifts upward every single year on purpose. The question is, why would anyone design it that way? Economists have a name for what you've noticed at the gas station. Prices rise like rockets and fall like feathers. When oil gets expensive, the price at the pump jumps within days. When oil crashes, the pump price drifts down over weeks, if at all. Why? Simple math of motivation. When a business's costs rise, every hour it waits to raise prices, it loses money. When its costs fall, every hour it waits to lower prices is pure extra profit. And you help them do it. You notice increases. You get angry. But nobody marches into a store demanding a decrease. For nobody demanding a decrease, then psychology finishes the job. Once you've paid $7 for a coffee a few times, $7 becomes normal. The old price is deleted from your memory. Your memory is the feather. Now here's the part almost nobody knows. Economists aren't afraid of rising prices. They're terrified of falling ones. Imagine everything gets cheaper next month. What do? You wait to buy. Now imagine millions of people waiting. Sales collapse. Companies cut wages, then jobs. People have less money, so prices fall further, so people wait longer. That spiral has a name, deflation, and it's what turned the crash of 1929 into the Great Depression and froze Japan's economy for decades. So central banks made a decision. Prices must never fall. Aim for a slow, permanent climb, 2% a year, like an escalator that only goes up. And when a shock sends prices doubling, the plan was never to bring them back down. The plan was only to slow the climb. And there's one more, quieter reason. Inflation makes the perfect smokescreen. When every price is rising, you can't tell which increases cover real costs and which just pad the margin. During the last big inflation wave, corporate profit margins didn't shrink under all that cost pressure. In many industries, they hit record highs. And when raising the price feels too obvious, there's an even sneakier move. Shrink the product instead. Same box, fewer chips. Same price, 90 grams lighter. The price didn't go up, technically. It just quietly buys you less. So prices never come back down because every force points the same way. Central banks want them rising slowly. Businesses profit from keeping them high, and your own memory resets to accept each new normal. Which means there's only one real defense. Your income has to ride the same escalator. A raise isn't a bonus, it's maintenance. So the next time someone says inflation is back to normal, you'll know what that really means. The prices you hate are now permanent, and the meter is still running. That was the hidden why. Subscribe, because there's always another one.